Hello.
Hey everyone, sorry about the delay. I had one small thing pop up, so it took me a second. I apologize. But we are here. It is 3:35 and it looks like we have everybody. So again, apologies, but thank you for that, Kim. If you want to jump right into it and I can try and pull up the agenda.
Kim, you're on mute.
Well, that's not helpful. Thank you. Are we recording? Yes. Good afternoon. Welcome to Morris Brandon's GOTeam Meeting, where we will follow the agenda that's been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I'd like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the GOTeam. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the GOTeam, please identify yourself when you speak. I'm pleased to call this meeting of Morris Brandon's GOTeam to order at 3:36 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. The secretary will now take the roll.
Please respond present when your name is called. Mr. Bland. See you. Present. Mrs. Bourne.
Present.
Mr. Fellows.
Here.
Mrs. Ball.
Here.
Ms. Moses.
Present.
Ms. Jordan.
Present.
Dr. Forehand.
Present.
Ms. Ingram. Present. And Miss Mexico.
Melly,
Yes, present.
she's present. Good.
Excellent. Thank you.
This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ashley, is there a quorum present?
Yes, there is a quorum present.
Okay, great. So we will continue on. So the first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here. Are there any changes to the agenda? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Great. A second?
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Anna. Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Now we'll review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections? Okay, no corrections. May I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
Motion to approve.
Okay, thank you. A second? I'll second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you. This has now been approved. Okay, our next action item is to approve the 2025 to 2030 strategic plan objectives, which we'll let Jay go through.
Right.
We'll have a discussion first, and then Jay,
Yep.
did you want to do that or the CCRPI results first?
I'll do that at the end. Let's go through the strategic plan. Let's get a vote in. We'll close out with that, and we should be on our way.
Okay,
Welcome
great.
everyone. Yep, sorry for the couple minute delay. I had a little thing pop up I had to take care of really quickly, but that's okay. We're gonna jump right into it. The good news is that we are ahead of the game here. One of the first schools to do this GOTeam meeting, which is great. Like I always say, they have to create the slides for me because I'm the one that's ahead of everybody. We did a lot of legwork on the front end. We have done a lot of work this year. The goal now is to approve our strategic plan. I'm going to present it to you. I'm going to show you our ranking priorities, talk for a minute about CCRPI, but none of that information is new. We kind of shared that out, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And then let's be on our way for the holidays. Come back in January ready to work. So let's get started. If you have any questions, make sure you stop me. And we are recording correctly. Yeah. Okay, good. This is our agenda. All right, so today we approve it. We're going to approve the minute. We have minutes. We did that. We're going to discuss the strategic plan, and we're going to rank them. Did that on the front end, which was good, so we don't have to spend a ton of time trying to do that. All right, let's talk about it. Remember, this is going to be gearing us up for January. We're going to have a few GOTeam meetings in January and February as we get our school budget. And our school budget should be healthy, similar to what we had this year. And I know that because we did have quick conversations with our new associates, and they really did tell us kind of if we were going to be on the end, a receiving end of a big sway, either gain or lose. And I was told that we're going to be pretty much where we were last year, which I think is really good because we had a good budget season. Also, my camera has that new weird setting, so I'm zooming in and out anytime I move. I don't know if anybody else has that. I'm not going to turn that off.
It doesn't look like that on our side, Jay, for your own
Okay.
sanity. Like it's not
Okay,
zooming
good.
in and out on our side.
All right, because it looks like I'm all over the place on mine, so thank you. All right, here we are. We have done data reviews. We've aligned our mission and vision. We looked at our goals. Remember, we picked those 4 KPIs. We're going to look at those again today. And then today, we're going to pull it all together and have this be our goal for the next 5 years. Good news is it's a fluid plan. No plan has to be set in stone for 5 years. So each year, we'll be able to adjust. But I do believe it's a great start. Remember, we picked KPIs here, those key performance indicators. We agreed on 4 of them, and I'll show you what those are again. Let's keep rolling. All right. Here it is, the strategic plan. Let's talk about it. This is the template of the new strategic plan, and this is what APS sort of had to work on me with because there's a document that we drop these things in, and it sort of creates the plan for you. So it's like a template. It looks like this. I do realize there's a few little things that are cut off, and I do think they're going to be tweaking it a little bit, but whenever this is finalized and published, we'll make sure that everything is captured. But in review, I just want to remind you, we put our mission and vision up here. That's what we created about 5 years ago before our reevaluation visit. It was our staff were involved in that, and we sort of agreed as a GOTeam that it, encompasses our school, and that if we were to tweak the mission and vision, we would want our staff and teachers sort of to be a part of that. We've identified 4 key performance indicators out of the list they gave us. I'm going to summarize those just really quickly. We talked about increasing proficiency for 3rd graders. That's that big benchmark year from 76.5% in ELA all the way up to 87. So that's about a 10% gain in 5 years. We talked about increasing the percentage of African-American students with typical or high end of grade milestone student growth percentiles from 62 to 62.5% to 73.2. That just talks about we want to make sure that way more of our students are showing those really high growth percentiles. 62 is good. 40 to 60 is typical growth. 60 to 80 is high average growth. So we're in that high average. We want to be closer to 73.2. Because sometimes proficiency is not the best way to measure, but that growth is. By 2030, we want the percentage of students feeling comfortable going to most or all of the adults in school really to increase by about 20%. We talked about that number being a little iffy, kind of depending on the day, the time, the cohort of kids who took that. But that was a glaring survey a survey response that kind of stood out to people. So we thought that we could use that as a bit of a goal. And the last one we had was increasing the percentage of engaged staff by about 13%. All right, and that's based on Gallup. So we have goals here for 3rd grade proficiency, which sets the stage for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We have a subgroup goal for our biggest subgroup and the growth that we need. We have a goal for student connections and for staff engagement. I tried to kind of get like the big picture. Okay. Of course, we have KPIs for everything, but these are our strategic goals. Now with APS, we have 6 areas. We have they're in black and red. Strengthening our instructional core, caring for every child, and sparking student curiosity are the first. So then we came across with some objectives, and we talked, and we brainstormed, and we wrote down not so much objectives, objectives on how we can measure that success, or how we can get there, or how we can reach those strategic goals through that avenue. I'm going to remind you what those are. Ensuring students are reading on grade level in third and showing at growth as it pertains to ELA. The state of Georgia measures student growth in third grade or student academics in third by having the benchmark is 90% of students reading on grade level. Brandon has gotten 87, 88, 89, not 90. If you get 90, you go down to the state capitol and you get a banner and you hang it up in your school. But that really ties nicely to that first goal. Talks about subgroups making academic progress across all areas. Caring for every child, ensuring exceptional education students, we don't call them special ed anymore, so we try and take that out if you see it, are making those yearly gains in literacy and state targets for ELA and math. We talked about increasing the percentage of ED students scoring proficient and above on the Georgia milestones. That was a red flag for us in our CCRPI. Caring for every child. It captures our economically disadvantaged students and our exceptional ed students, some of those two highest need subgroups. And the last one, sparking student curiosity, building systems and resources to support IB, DLI, and gifted, and then foreign language on the bottom. Any thoughts or feedback on those first three that are in the black? Because we ranked those priorities in just a minute. Anything? Let's go over to the other side, talking about the strength is our team. Remember, this is very much mimics APS's strategic plan, so every school is going to have one similar. We want to increase opportunities for student engagement, see how that ties directly into really feeling comfortable going to every adult. In my opinion, it's hard to have engaged students if they're not feeling comfortable going to adults. So I feel like if we work on that engagement piece, that connection piece can be there. And then we talked about increasing opportunities for staff engagement and retention, keeping our teachers. Responsibility is shared, ensuring all students are comfortable going to most or all of the adults in school for help. Establish mentors to support student connectedness to school with a trusted adult. That was something that we spoke about. That was something that Tiffany brought up. That was something that resonated with me, and I felt like would be a great strategic, really strategic objective to put under that shared responsibility. Everybody owns our students, ties directly into our KPI. The last one is efficient and effective, and I struggled with this one a little bit, and then I realized that we talked about budgeting and keeping our class sizes where they are now. If you talk to teachers now, they're probably more happy than they've ever been with really having classes between 16 and 22, which is great. And then the last thing, I squoze it in there, but that's increasing opportunities for families to increase their engagement. I put that under efficient and effective, but I say that because I believe our school is efficient and effective because of our parent engagement. I believe that helps. When you look at foundation and PTO and some of the parent support groups that we do, I don't lead a lot of that work. Our PTO and our parents do. So I felt like that was a good place to go. So taking the feedback, this is what I have. This is our strategic plan. I do personally believe that it encompasses kind of everything we've discussed, but I want to open it up for discussion in case you have any feedback, because the goal would be, try and go back on this. Goal would be to vote on this now. And I just want to remind you, there's a lot more work that's done besides this strategic plan, right? We do a whole lot in our school. We have continuous improvement plans that we have from our admin team in our school. So just because it may not feel like it's captured on here, there's ways to get there. So I just want to hear your feedback. And if you feel like we might be ready to vote, I think we're in a good place for that. So does anybody want to share out or share any feedback?
I'll share. I think it's excellent just to start, and I appreciate the context that, it goes beyond what's on the page here. And I did just to clarify on the efficient and effective with the class sizes. I know the DLI classes trend more 24, 25 students. So just wanted to ask, is there any concern there with those class sizes when we speak to efficient and effective? And again, I think the objective is fine, but just want to ask that question as a follow-up.
Yeah, that's a great
click
question.
under. Yeah.
It's a great question. I'm actually looking at my class size document right now. I do want you to know, sort of off the record, we've sort of backed off on the DLI, adding 25 and 25 in right off the bat in kindergarten. Now, of course, if you're in first or second, you might be feeling the brunt of that. I get that. The reason being is because we're learning and we're seeing that if we put 25 and 25 in, that we're missing one or two native Spanish speakers that enroll late and they don't get into DLI. So while I didn't put that on there, if we need to do a subset or talk about that, I can tell you that working closely with our kindergarten teacher like Ms. Broussard, we're only putting in 21 or 22 in kindergarten right now to start the cohort. So if you want me to commit to that 22, like we do with all of our classes, notice how it doesn't say dual language immersion or traditional learning. I would say that if that's in our strategic plan, then I'm committed to keeping next year starting kindergarten at 22 per class, if not lower. So our goal was 16 to 22, 18 to 22. I feel like that it would make sense to keep the same rules with DLI. So thank you for bringing that up. And we're not trying to cram in 50 right off the bat now, because we miss kids if they do enroll later, and then we can't get them in until later on, if not first grade, second grade, or third grade. So that's a good call out. All right, I do want to, anybody else want to share? I don't want to put you along. I had some good questions about this, and I sent an email out today. I just wanted y'all to read that. I think I put it here. Do I have it in here? Yeah, it's a little out of order, so I'll go back to the vote. I did just want to call these out because I thought these were great questions. Apologies on the formatting. I could not figure out how to get this blue to go to the left side, so we're just going to pretend like that it looks all great. But we talked about like reading on grade level, like is that only for third? And I talked about that key measure really being third grade. Third grade is that first year they test, and if you can get them where you need to be in third, then fourth and fifth will feel the benefits. That's sort of that answer I gave there. Talking about subgroups making academic progress, but also ensuring exceptional education students make it. Somebody said, well, we might be duplicative on that. And I completely agree with that. But exceptional education is a subgroup. And I believe that if we can call that group out, it shows the importance of sort of not just drilling it down for every student, but also those individual ones. So I sort of justified it that way. And you can see that right here. Special education is currently 20% of our school. So calling out that that is big. Remember, special education is not always everything you see, but it's things like speech. Speech students fall under that category and so forth. Question around ED and what that referred to. I do that mistake all the time. I understand that not everybody knows every single educational jargon. So ED is not what you would typically think it is by watching late night television. Is exceptional education. And we don't call it special ed anymore. So economically disadvantaged, economically disadvantaged, it's not exceptional education. I'm sorry, it's economically disadvantaged. And that's an underperforming subgroup, if you remember. That is also approximately 20% of our school, even though many of those kids might overlap in different subgroups. The next one had to do with feeling comfortable going to school, establishing mentors, feeling connectedness. I felt like these two went hand in hand. The person asked, I wonder what the correlation would be. Is it the students that are not feeling connected to school? Could they also be subgroup students, economically disadvantaged or underperforming? While I don't have all the data right there in front of me, I think it would be safe to assume that students that are underperforming are also the ones that don't always feel safe going to a trusted adult in school. So if we can capture that and we can reach that, I do believe that having that trusted adult is the first thing you need before you're ready to learn. So I did put that in there. So I just wanted to show you those answers really quickly. Does anybody have any other questions around kind of what's in there? All right, we'll get us back to this then. So our plan is here. It is well thought out, and I know I do a lot of the work, but I do that so the meetings move along. But please know that your feedback when we came together in person and we used chart paper and everything else that we had to kind of garner everything that you had with those KPIs was all very helpful. So the time has come down.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to stop us for 1 second.
Go
In
ahead.
our last strategic plan, math was one of the ones in our strategic goals, I believe.
Yep.
And now we don't have math.
Yes. Great call.
I'm just a math person.
Math
Sorry,
is
my
going to
dog
need
is
to be in
barking.
there. I mean, math is a focus. You're right. It's a little bit more big picture. We do talk about exceptional education students with math. We're not calling it out anywhere. If you would like, I would say I could squeeze in, there's nothing that's big picture. I could put the math and ELA here for third, so it sort of captures third and then hopefully into fourth and fifth. But you're right, we don't have anything specifically
I mean,
calling
does
on
the
math.
state of Georgia have the same emphasis on third grade math, as it does on ELA?
No, not necessarily. A key measure is 90% of students reading on grade level in third. So that's part of CCRPI. Math will carry for Georgia milestones, proficient and above. They don't get growth in math in third. They will in fourth and fifth. But I do believe that we could squeeze math in there if we needed to. If I was going to put it somewhere, Kim, where would I put it, and would we pull something else out? Tell me.
I
I
I
don't,
I
this,
I like weaving it into instructional core and just
Okay.
making it a little broader than the third grade oriented um, ELA marker only.
So one thing I will say, where it says make sure subgroups are making academic progress across all content areas. So subgroups is really every student, just their individual subgroup. So it's all of our white students, our African American, or economically disadvantaged, our Hispanic, our ELLs. The idea is that they're making growth across all content areas. If I need to be more specific, I would change that to ELA and math, and I can do that. No problem. Probably still vote on this, and then just
Yeah,
know that we can tweak that.
yeah.
What do you think?
Um,
Try that.
I, yeah, I think that's good. I'm flex. I don't have a big energy on any
yeah, I
approach.
mean, I think we should definitely vote on it. And if you're thinking that that is where the math is, I just
Yeah.
don't want to get math kind of lost. We have a goal for ELA that's very specific, and then
You're
there's
right.
no math goal.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I do just want to say that if we are growing our African American students to growth percentiles of 73.2,
Yeah.
and you are growing, that like that right there, if we can do that, everybody else is going to grow. That is the lowest, that I don't want to say lowest hanging fruit, but like those are the students that when they do well, everybody does well. And I know that's hard to understand kind of from a perspective, but you're right. There's not a
No,
math.
you're bringing up everyone, right? If
Yeah.
you're
Mm-hmm.
you're doing a
Yeah.
great
So
job
let's
teaching these. So
let's write it in
that's
here.
fine. I think we can, as long as
Yeah.
when conscientious when we're talking about this in the next 5 years, that math is just as important as ELA,
Absolutely.
then I think we can just move on and vote.
I think that's great. I agree. And if I need to tweak anything, I will say make sure that all student groups or all student subgroups are making academic progress across all content areas, or most notably, or including ELA and math. And I'll add that in there, no problem. Okay.
Cool.
Because social studies and science are not really tested in third and fourth, and science is only tested in fifth. We can specifically call out ELA and math. Great feedback. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Chris. Everybody else who reached out to me and sent me information. Well done. Thank you. The idea is that this strategic plan helps to drive our funding and our strategic objectives. So the idea now is going to be to vote. Kim, do you have a voting protocol that you can do or just run us through with this?
Yep. So our last action item is to approve the 2025-2023 strategic plan. Let's see here. Hold on. Sorry.
Go back
If there are
to it.
no further corrections or comments, may I have a motion to approve the strategic plan?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Chris. Do I have someone who will second this motion?
I second.
Thank you, Millie. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Anyone abstain? Okay, great. Thank you.
Cam, just
Awesome.
for the records, was that Millie or
Yeah.
Miss Jordan? Okay, Millie.
Oh,
Got
I
it.
think it was Millie.
Okay.
I think it was
me.
Melly.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to kind of let everybody know, this is work that we have begun. Like we started this, I mean, we started a long time ago, but we just took our map data. So in our PLCs yesterday, on Wednesday, we went through the lexiles of every single student in third grade. We determined how many are reading on grade level, who's on the cusp, and who we can get to move to hopefully get closer, if not to 90% by the end of the year. We looked at the map data, most notably the subgroup students in every class, looked at their RIT band, the score they had, and what we can do to move them forward. So a lot of the stuff you're seeing on here, none of this are items that we don't talk about during the day. But there are a few in here that we need to begin kind of pushing to the top. That's how we can increase our engagement for our staff as Gallup comes around, and how we can figure out the trusted adult piece, because that's going to take a little bit of work, and that might have to be a robust mentor program. We have done some work with student ambassadors for new students coming to school, but we had talked about creating a mentor program using, either young men or parents or even teachers in the school that can help mentor students. So that's good stuff to have on there.
I wonder
All
if
right,
our
well done.
counselors would be able to have like a,
They
what they've
do.
seen
You're
with
right.
other schools. I mean,
Yeah,
they're both of them are so great. I'm so glad we got the
I
second
know.
counselor.
Yeah, I would love to pair some of our young men up with some other young men, kind of just like successful people that they can see that have been in their shoes before. I'm kind of thinking that we get a lot of new kids at our upper grades who adjust well to Brandon, but academically they need to be able to see they can do well at our school. And we need people that can show them that and demonstrate that. And I think that when you find that connectedness and somebody you can go to, and it can be like a Mr. Freeman who's already here. Don't want to overwork Mr. Freeman because I feel like I'd have him mentoring everybody, or people in the community that can come in once a month and meet with students. I think would be great. So we'll have to figure that out. I'll work with Tiffany on that. All right. Those things that we put underneath were objectives, and I sent them out to you. Thank you to those that completed it. I pulled the rankings like a couple hours ago, so if you did it right before the meeting, thank you, but I don't know if it was all included in there. This is not the most important thing, but what this does is show us where we're aligned, and also shows us kind of like if we have money and we have sort of a limited money, or we have different opinions on where that money goes, the strategic ranking can show us where it should go. Here it is. Thank you for voting. I think I had 8 people that had submitted on time. So if you were a little late, it's okay. I didn't include you, but the idea is that I had a pretty good average for all of these. Number 1, look what the most important was: getting our 3rd graders reading on grade level. All right, that is like the essence. Making sure our subgroups are making academic progress across all content areas, most notably ELA and math. So instruction 1 and 2, ensuring our exceptional ed students are making yearly gains. We have instruction 1, 2, and 3, maximizing school budget to ensure class sizes, right? Great. That's number 4. So now we have to make sure that do the best we can, that we're staffing our grade levels. I say that now because I have 8 homerooms coming up from 2nd into 3rd, and we have 8 homerooms in 3rd. I have 8 homerooms going from 3rd to 4th, but right now I only have 6 homerooms in 4th grade because that 4th grade class is small. So we have to create 2 more classes in 4th grade for next year. And those are new positions because right now they only have 6 teachers, but I got 8 homerooms rolling into 4th. So we have to create 2 new homerooms in there. And we have to figure out how to do that to make those class sizes manageable. And then 5th grade is actually probably going to lose a homeroom because they don't need 7. They may only need 6. So one of those teachers can be repurposed, but we still have to hire and fund a new teacher. We'll talk about that with budgeting, but I put that on there because this is not always easy, but that's what's going to drive our budget to try and, we're going to look at teachers. We're going to try and hire teachers to bring that class size down. IB, DLI, and gifted number 5. Number 6 is that students feeling comfortable going to adults. Number 7, increasing opportunities for engagement for our teachers. This is big for me. Engagement to me is giving opportunities for leadership, growing our teachers. If you look at, I'm just going to, like, Ms. Moses is a great example, right? Somebody who's grown into a role. Senor Estrada has moved into a new role. Ms. Little moved into a role, kind of giving teachers those leadership opportunities or opportunities to take on engagement activities throughout the school. I'm big on that. Ms. Swain does a lot of that for us. School budget is here. That's to get the class sizes down. Wow, I have that on there twice. I see that now. Sorry about that. Missing one. I probably have to pull one off of that. Number 9, ensuring our students are comfortable going to adults for help, increasing opportunities for engagement, establishing mentors, and then for all families to increase engagement at the bottom. These don't mean that number 12 is not important to us. It just shows us that on the like it's the 12th most important. So that is important for us, and that is something that that we work on for all students. I do see that I have to
Yeah,
maximize.
you have, Jay, I think number 6 and 9 are the same.
Yeah. So if you look, I could probably
I
look
think you're
right
missing,
now.
I think the one that you're missing is utilize specialists and foreign language teachers to help increase the IB.
That's it. Thank you. The special ed one, I have to go back and look at my list and tell you which one that is because I averaged them out. I just didn't write it right. The utilizing the specialist. Read it one more time, Melly. Can you read that one more time?
Yes,
Utilizing the
it says
specialist.
utilize specialists and foreign language teachers to help increase the IB, EIP, PYP overall effectiveness.
All right. Okay, let me talk about that. I'll look at that because it should be one. I don't know if I ended up going with that one. And it should be one that is on this strategic plan. And I have to just figure out which one that is. It's not going to mess with the vote or anything. Which one did I not capture? Can anybody tell off of just this slide or no?
Yeah,
It's
it's
the one
the-
that Melly just said.
Where is
Under
that on here?
sparking student curiosity.
Oh, it is down here. Thank you. You're right. I did capture it. Phew, I was afraid I didn't get it on here. You're right, Melly. Thank you. I'm reading that one as, let me see that average. Yeah, that was 8, the specialist. So it looks like the averages for reducing the class size was a little bit higher than using the specialist for to increase IB, PYP, DLI. So I'll just change that out so we know that was number 8. Thanks for calling out on that. I just doubled that up. Any feedback on our rankings or anything? I like the way these are ranked. And the funny thing is I went back to last year and the top 3, remember some of those were on our old strategic plan. Those were still ranked 1, 2, and 3 in other years from our other Go teams that ranked that. So I like that the focus is on instruction and yeah, I like that. All right, looks like we have to vote on the rankings. So do you want to run that vote real quickly, Kim?
Okay. We just reviewed the strategic plan objectives rankings. We will now take a vote. So if there are no further corrections, I guess I'm confused because we have multiple ones in there and we're missing one. So we just,
Yeah, the only thing is 8 is changing out with, I'm switching that one out with the utilizing our specialists under sparking student curiosity. So that's the only one. I just did this maximum minus twice.
and
If you
then
guys,
it's 6
Wait. It's the
and
ensure all students.
9. Which ones
6 and 9.
stay?
I think it's 9 you
It's
need to
2 of
change.
them.
there's 2 of them on there.
The maximize number 4 and 8, and then
I
also
don't know.
ensure all students 6 and 9.
Yep. Well, if you guys want to hang for a second, we can rank them real quickly. I'm just going to read them to you if I can find my
Okay.
paper because I have the averages. Hold on one second, and we can do it right now. Give me a second.
Or if you have do you have like a little whiteboard thing, we can just like cross them out on here.
Reading a survey, it's the way they read it is hard. Where is my averages? I just don't go anywhere. Don't worry. All right, here we are. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do this really quickly. I'm going to pull up the survey. I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to do it this way. And I just need somebody really quickly like Kim just to kind of take a quick note. So give me 1 second. You guys can't see my screen, can you?
No.
No.
I was working a little fast on that, so I apologize. So we'll do this quick. All right. Share my screen. All right, let me know if you can see my screen. in the 2 seconds in 1. Screen sharing is paused. Stop that again. Try it one more time. Deep breath. Let's try this again. All right, got it? All right, Kim, just take a quick little note from me. We're going to do this together because I have the averages. You guys see A through L right here?
Yep.
All right, is anything doubled up on that? I don't think so.
No,
'Cause that's
no,
what
that
you
one is correct. No, that
all
one
right,
is
so
perfect.
ready. So number 1, with an average of 1.8, also tied, by the way, there was a couple little ties. So average is going to be B. Number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, ensuring students are on grade level. Okay. That's number 1. And then number 2 is also number 5, making sure subgroups. Okay. That's 1 and 2. 3 is going to be number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it? Making sure subgroups are making academic progress across all content areas. That's number 3. All right. Number 4 with an average of 6. I should have given you the averages, but I'll tell you as we go. That's going to be number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's building systems and resources to enhance IB, DLI, PYP. All right. Number 5. So that was an average of a 6. Number 5 is going to be number 10. So that's going to be ensuring all students are comfortable going to most or all of the adults in school. No, let's see. 1, 2,
I think
3, 4, 5.
it's the
That's what messed me up. So it's going to be increasing percentage of ED students scoring proficient and above all milestones. There you go. That's number 5. All right. Number 6. We've got number 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Comfortable going to most or all the adults in school. That was an average of 8.2. It's tied with number 7, but we'll just put it as number 7. That's also 8.2. So that's number 2. So increasing opportunities for staff and retention. That was also an 8.2. So 6 and 7 are tied, but we just put them together. All right, then we got to go to number 8. Increase opportunities for staff engagement at 8.6. Number 9.
Wait, was
That was
staff
7.
7? Okay, thank you.
Wait, what was the last one? Student engagement?
Yep. So the last one, I said number 7. We on number 7 right now?
Well,
7
I
was
had a
staff
question on
engagement.
7. Yeah, staff engagement, but then we said 8 was staff engagement too, so I just wanted to clarify.
Okay. I'm going to do it one more time for y'all. Then we're going to do it one more time. Let me just make sure I have all my numbers. I'm going to do it real quick. 3. All right, let's do this. I'm going to send an email out right after this with the rank priorities so we don't have to take too much time because I want to make sure I get it right. All right, I have all the averages on here. I'm going to type it out. I'm going to send it right after the meeting. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. We'll have to we'll just vote it on. We'll vote on it on the computer. And if you feel like it's good, I think we can just submit it. I just want to make sure that I get it right. I don't want to mess it up or take too much time because, I just have a few that are tied up. So I apologize for that. We're not going to be able to vote on it today. I'll send you an email with it straight after. And if we're good with it and we're good, everybody just reply all and say aye, and then we can submit it. Okay. And I'll have them mapped out 10 with the averages next to it. I don't want to take more time for that. Is that okay? I apologize for that one.
Sounds good.
All right, let's keep rolling. Can you see my screen still? Give it 1 second.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, I'll send this slide out one more time. I'll make sure that it's perfect. All right, where we're going. We're going to do budget in January or February. I think we answered our questions. Realized I doubled up on a few of those items, so thank you for that. We're going to talk about CCRPI briefly right now. Okay. This is not new, but this might be a new slide. So I only wanted to share this with y'all because people can't see our how we were the year before necessarily. Just showing you this slide. We don't have to talk a ton about CCRPI because this is data from last year. Of course, it just came out. There's no overall school score, but I do think it's important to call out some of these areas. Just a reminder, content mastery. Reason why we dropped half a percentage point was because we stayed pretty stagnant in science. That's an area of focus that we have been on all year long. So if you have a 5th grade student, they know that we have put a whole lot of stuff in place, new textbooks, we have new departmentalizations, teachers, but that was our content mastery. Progress dropped a little bit from 100, mostly because of math progress. That's the student growth percentiles. All right. Closing the gaps. It was 75 2 years ago. It was 85 last year. It's back down to 75 because it basically just takes, so we looked at it, our subgroups, our subjects, and just divides it out equally. And we know that we have to have 15 students for a subgroup, but the areas that we missed on this one was mostly math, African American, or ED. Not all math, but 1 or 2 areas on that. So it calculates that out. If we had to have an area of focus, that's 75. That's subgroups. Those individual students are what we're looking at. And then readiness went up a little bit, which is cool. That's reading on grade level. Notice how that is 87.5. That is a part of our CCRPI. That is only 3rd grade. Okay, so we have that goal in there. That's why we were at 87.5% of our 3rd graders reading on grade level last year. We know we want to be at 90. Student attendance is awesome. Beyond the core, the percentage of students that were scheduled in the fine arts or foreign language, that should be 100. We probably missed 1 student. Sometimes it's challenging when kids come in and out, but that didn't impact too much. Okay. I did give a nice little press release in the email. I encourage everyone to read that. It talks about the subjects, talks about the buckets, really gives a good, clear report, and it is linked here. And I'll make sure that when that's posted on the website that people have access to it. Anybody want to share any feedback or anything around CCRPI? Okay. Well then, wasn't my smoothest GOTeam meeting. Got on late, messed up the rankings. Strategic plan was there. CCRPI was there. And I apologize for that. I got a little flustered when I got called into a meeting at 3 o'clock. So I'm going to leave it at that, y'all. I'm going to send an email right after this. And if you can respond by 5 o'clock, potentially with a nay or an A, then that means that Kim can go ahead and mark that as a vote and we should just be good to go. All right. I'll hand it back over to you, Ashley or Kim, sorry. And if Kim, sorry, Kim does everything. Ashley, I know you're there too. And then we'll close it out.
Okay. No public comment meeting at this meeting. Does anyone else have any announcements? Okay.
I just have a question, Kim, for Jay. Thank you, Jay. Everything looks great with the presentation today. I have a question about how you socialize this once it's final with the staff. Is this presented to them at the beginning of the next academic school year?
That's a great question. So it goes live in January. Staff do need to see this. So we'll have a staff meeting January 23rd. In the middle of January. It'd be a great time to present this. And man, how great would it be if we had a GOTeam member at that staff meeting to sort of talk a little bit about that? Not saying it has to be you, Tiffany, but that's a great call out because they do need to see this. Now,
Yeah.
as a reminder, we have an internal document. It's a continuous improvement plan that sort of our staff is a little bit more aware about, a little more granular. This is more public front facing, right? More community facing, but we'll share this at our January staff meeting. So if anybody wants to come and talk, kind of be a part of that conversation, it would be cool.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I guess just one small comment for those who don't follow the APS board meetings, but last week the board did vote on the facilities plan. So Brandon was not impacted, but there were some schools, a lot of schools impacted in this vote. So if you are still getting questions from other parents, just know that a vote was taken, and you can learn more about that on the APS website. And now may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
I'm
Okay. A second, Tiffany, maybe?
Yeah, I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, please either raise your hand or say aye.
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 Any abstentions or nays? Great, thank you. The meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank
Appreciate you
you.
keeping us
Thank you.
organized. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.